Sorry. And so, what were we saying? So yeah, you don't have to have when you doing it in an uncontrolled fashion. All there's loss of life basically. There's loss of life, and loss of life is unclean. It's death, and so that's what I'm saying. When you do it in a controlled fashion and there's no loss of life, it's not unclean. And there is you can control yourself. And we all can do this for that matter. Now, I'm not. What am I saying? I mean, if we can go to first. I guess we can go to 1 John chapter 3 verse 9, real quick, because I'm putting that in direct relation to the scriptures in Leviticus that we just read about seed leaving the body being unclean. Right? And if you could just clarify for me real quick what your understanding of that particular scriptures are about the seed of copulation, if you wouldn't mind, if we could just if you could read through them and break them down so we can get a good ground floor of what both our understanding is on that. I think it'll be helpful for the conversation. But I'm going to go to 1 John, the 3rd chapter, right, in regards to the seed, right? One moment here. All right, this is 1 John chapter 3 and the 9th verse. One moment. It says, one moment, can you see there? There we go. Whosoever is born of Ahiah doth not commit sin, for his seed remaineth in him. Okay? So this is what the Bible is saying right here. You had mentioned that there's nowhere in the Bible that talks about retaining seed. Well, this is what the scripture is clearly saying right here. It says, whosoever is born of the Most High doth not commit sin, for his seed remaineth in him, and he cannot sin because he is born of Ahiah. All right? It says, and then it goes on. It says, in this the children of Ahiah are manifest, and the children of the devil. Whosoever doeth not righteousness is not of Ahiah, neither he that loveth not his brother. And so here we have right here in the New Testament, and you very eloquently stated, these are Christ's words that we're finding right here. It says, whosoever is born of Ahiah doth not commit sin, for his seed remaineth in him, and he cannot sin because he is born of Ahiah. That's all right. And so now that we see that, all right, we're going to jump over to Leviticus again real quick. And so we have a good, clear understanding within context, what's actually being spoken of here. I know that's important that you guys want me to go to the scriptures. And so it says right here again, it says, and if any man's seed of copulation go out from him, then he shall wash all his flesh in water and be unclean until even. That's because that was a sin. He committed a sin and he needed to wash himself, and he's unclean until the even. And we go back over to 1 John, the 3rd chapter. Again, we're going to go back over real quick. And this is just what I see from the scriptures. I definitely implore, just like the brother Amar implores everyone to study to show they self-approve and strive to be perfect before the Most High. But once again, in 1 John, the 3rd chapter, this is New Testament, so-called New Covenant writings. It says, whosoever is born of the Most High doth not commit sin, for his seed remaineth in him, and he cannot sin, because he is born of Ahiah. And so, it becomes one of these things where, we cannot sidestep the heart of the matter. As hard as it may sound, as foreign as it may be, as weird as it may seem, maybe some of us don't understand the mechanics. Maybe some of us don't, really get these type of things. And that's fine, but that's only because a lot of traditions and incorrect information was being passed down to us throughout these years. And so in this time, that's why it's important for us to have a time of leisure where we can dwell together in unity and actually go through these scriptures and make these changes so we can allow the Most High to cleanse us and for the Holy Spirit to always be dwelling and abiding upon us. Because the portions of the law which we can control and we don't control, those are the things we're punished for, whether we realize that or not. The portions we can't control, whether you think we're in captivity or not, or any of these other little things, we can't go to Jerusalem. I get that, yes, that's where we're applying grace. Well, in regards to relations between one another, man and wife, and not only that, in regards to being a child of God, right, and a servant of Christ, it says it clearly again. Whosoever is born of Ahiah doth not commit sin, for his seed remaineth in him, and he cannot sin, because he is born of Ahiah. And so the purpose of sex outside of comforting one another and procreating this is actually how you build your indwelling spirit. And it goes right back to how I was talking about when you're blowing up a balloon and you're blowing up and you're blowing up and you're blowing up. And this is what's happened when the energy is building in the passion between man and wife. It's building up, it's building up, it's building up. But what happens is we allow ourselves not to control that energy and the balloon pops. All right. And then the life force is spilled out and wasted. That's why it's an unclean act, because you've wasted the Most High's seed and life force. And so with that, I yield.